Heyo, it's OmniDog. Thanks for tuning in, OmniDogs and OmniKittens. This is OmniDog's holiday gift guide last minute because it's early December. It's like December 9th around there, 2021. And if you haven't gotten something for the nerd in your life yet, I'm here for you. Don't worry about it because I made sure everything in the description is available from Amazon so that if you order it, if you're a Prime member, you get it overnight. If you're not a Prime member, you get it 3 days later. Or choose to get it somewhere else, like go into an actual store and buy it. That's not for me, but if you do it that way, peace and love, man, go get it. So I figure there are 3 things out there that are affordable for the nerd in your life, whether that is man, woman, child, or yourself. I've got books, vinyl, and action figures. Yeah, to suggest they're all in print. They're not out of print. They're all in stock, and I'm giving you all these ideas right now. So hurry up. Are you ready? Okay, let's go first with holiday books. One of my favorite holiday books is a very DC Rebirth Holiday. I always have trouble figuring out where the camera is on this. Okay, this is just a collection of stories in a thin trade, but it's really quite fun. It's a collection of stories. It's got in it DC Rebirth Holiday Special, Harley Quinn 10, Batman Annual number 1. I think there may be some original stuff in here. I'm not sure, but it's got. I actually really like the Harley Quinn story at the end. I know you guys think I love everything that is Harley out there, but this is a story that Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor wrote at the end there. So it may be from Harley Quinn 10. I can't even remember, but there's plenty of good stories in here that I really enjoy for the holidays, featuring a variety of characters. And it's cheap, and it has a sequel too that's equally as good. These are just fun collections of holiday stories. So these I recommend for the DC fan that just wants to celebrate the holidays with a lot of your favorites. DC Holiday Special, Green Arrow, Batgirl, Trinity. So it's got all kinds. Sergeant Rock fights the Nazis on Hanukkah. The Teen Titans take on the literal ghost of Christmas past. Swamp Thing. What the what? These books have everything. So think about it. Okay, next. You can't have Christmas or the holiday season without Klaus. This is the most accessible book that Grant Morrison has ever written about the origins of Santa Claus. First of all, the art is by the fabulous Dan Mora. And there are 3 of them. First one, Klaus. Second one, The New Adventures of Santa. Third one, The Life and Times of Santa Claus. Now, these are the gilt-edged hardcover versions. I can't say right now off the top of my head if they're still in print, but if they're not, I'll list the paperbacks. Either way, Klaus is fun. It's adventurous. It's all ages appropriate. It is okay for everyone. Grant Morrison has outdone himself in these books. Now they can get a little scary, so there goes a big pile. But that's okay. I know where they are in order. They can get a little scary, so... And there's, scary wolves, creepy people, blood. Maybe let's say this is for 10 and up. but the art is fantastic. Let's go with 12 and up. Yeah, 12 and up. So, Klaus, 3 books, all great. And the books that fell were actually the next ones I was going to talk about. So I can pick them right up off the floor. For the kids, in your life, they fell pretty far down there. For the kids in your life, I really dug Crypto the Super Dog. It says graphic novels for everyone. I read it and enjoyed it. There's Super Dog in there. Crypto the Super Dog. Ace the Bat Hound. Streaky the Super Cat. I think Beppo the Super Monkey and Comet the Super Horse. All the super pets are in this. It's a digest-sized book. Now this is really all ages. You can read this to your 3-year-old as she falls asleep. You can read it to yourself as you fall asleep. You can read it at any point. These are fun, all ages stories that star the greatest dog in comics history, Crypto. Don't argue with me, please. This is my channel. A lot of Crypto in space, Streaky in space, all kinds of stuff. Fun book for you and your youngster. Now, I'm just going to show you one book, but any of these are great. These are the complete Peanuts. This is the hardcover, but they're also available in the less expensive paperbacks. These books are not expensive, and they are lovingly made. They start in 1950, and they go all the way to 2000 when Charles Schulz passed away. 50 years, he didn't miss a day. Pick your favorite era and get one of these books. My favorite era, 1950 through 1985. That's about right. So that's what I've collected. Maybe you grew up with Peanuts in the 90s and you'd like to read that. They've got you covered either in hardcover or trade paperback. Peanuts is for you. The greatest comic strip ever in the world. Someday, I'm going to do my Charles Schulz Peanut special where I show my letters from Charles Schulz. That's going to happen maybe next year. Yeah. And I'll show you all my other Peanuts paraphernalia. Not paraphernalia. Memorabilia. That's from the 70s. Paraphernalia. What am I talking about? Peanuts. All ages. Great. Now here are 3 books that were brought to my attention by the fabulous Omnicat that I truly love. I've made a video on them. If you want to search my library, they are the T-Dragon Society books. T-Dragon Society, T-Dragon Tapestry. Now wait a sec, these might be out of order. And T-Dragon Festival. Yeah, T-Dragon Tapestry is the 3rd. These are beautifully drawn, beautifully written books. Not everything has to be a superhero. Not everything has to be boom smash. Sometimes you just want to sit down in the afternoon. If you drink tea, you have a cup of tea, cup of coffee, diet soda, whatever you drink, and you just want to read a gentle, loving, well-told story. This is all ages appropriate. Adults will love it, and children will dig it too. It is fantastic. Please watch my award-winning... Okay, well, it didn't win an award, but it should have because these books are great. Watch my video in my library about the T-Dragon Society books. These are wonderful stories that are wonderfully told and are just gentle fairy tales that I love. Everybody needs a break now and then, and these are the books to do it. From Oni Press. These are the hardcovers. I think they're available in paperback too. I will check before I post these in the description box. If you can afford, they're not expensive. $18 for T-Dragon Society, $22 for the other two books for big oversized hardcovers like this, and then you can probably get them at a discount, or you can get the paperbacks. Highly, highly recommended for everyone. And thank you to Omnicat for letting me know about those books. Now, let's talk about comic books from the big two and others. You're thinking, what's good from Marvel? What's good from DC? What would I like from Image? You need to be reading Black Widow by Kelly Thompson. This is a completely different story than the movie. The movie was taken more from Mark Waid's run. Maybe I should do a video on movies and their comic book influences. The comic books that influence the movies. That's probably been done by somebody, but not by me. Anyway, Kelly Thompson doesn't get enough credit for being the great writer that she is. And it's well written, a completely different direction for Black Widow. Really fun art. And Kelly Thompson has written lots of good things and doesn't have an oversized hardcover yet from Marvel. And I've sacrificed. I've got 6 Captain Marvel trades from her, and they still haven't made an oversized hardcover. I'm doing my bit to get a hardcover for you guys, but it hasn't happened yet. So throw Kelly Thompson and Black Widow some love. Fun, adventurous, well-written, exciting, with covers by the great Adam Hughes. These are stories that will blow your mind. I really dug it. Black Widow 1 and 2. The first one, The Ties That Bind. The second one is I Am the Black Widow. Get these. Seriously, get them. Now the next ones from Marvel just came out in an oversized hardcover. So I sacrificed and I did my bit. This is Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing and the Human Torch, but the oversized hardcover is called Fate of the Four. Fantastic Four, Fate of the Four by Chip Zdarsky. Man, that guy can write. This is what takes place after Hickman's Battle Worlds ends, and all of a sudden Reed and Sue and the kids disappear, leaving Johnny and the Thing on Earth alone together. And how they get along, do they get along, and what they do to try and find Sue and Reed, and the adventures that they go through are amazing. Fun, really well thought out, very creative. Chip Zdarsky, he's not a secret anymore. We knew him as an artist, and now we love him as a writer. Wow, this book is so much fun. You can get the trade paperbacks still, but go for the oversized hardcover. These two books are just a blast. I really loved these things. Very heartfelt and emotional and exciting and well written and well done. Any nerd would be happy with these books. I was. Next, from DC, kind of a surprise to me because I had bought it and I had put it off reading it because I just wanted to collect all the Hanna-Barbera books. And this is one of the last ones I read, and I'm sorry I waited so long because this is The Jetsons by Jimmy Palmiotti. If the first two are the Snagglepuss Chronicles, let's see, the Snagglepuss Chronicles, Exit Stage Left, and the Flintstones, this is number 3. This is really done so well. First of all, the art is great. Elroy and Judy are teenagers in this book with teenage problems, teenage issues. George and Jane both have very important jobs. It explains why they are living above the earth, what lies below them, and what's happening in space. Does it have anything to do with what lies below them in the earth that they can't inhabit? Jimmy Palmiotti, I read everything of his. I back all of his Kickstarters. He and Amanda Connor are the ones that made me run Harley Quinn with their run. This is one of his best books. There's plenty of humor, but it's very philosophical, very heartfelt, and very well told. I urge everyone to give the Jetsons, just one book, give the Jetsons a try. Just one trade paperback. Jimmy Palmiotti knocks it out of the park. This is really well done. Okay, now you're saying, dude, I like crime. What about crime books? You need to read the Reckless series by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Probably no surprise, you know the Minister of Comics and I love Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, but there's a reason we do. These Reckless books are just absolutely some of the best books he's written, and just so well illustrated. This tells the story of an unlicensed PI named Ethan Reckless. He owns a movie theater. He has an assistant. What is her name again? Anna? Yeah. Anna is his assistant. She helps run the movie theater, and she helps him solve crimes. He surfs by day, and he also investigates crimes that people hire him to solve, personal things, things that you wouldn't want a licensed guy, a cop, involved in. There are 3 books. This is the latest, Destroy All Monsters. Any one of these is great. You should start with the first one, but this is the 3rd one. All the Reckless books are great. I'll list all 3 in the description. Any crime nerd would love these books. Don't be surprised if you see a lot of these books on my top books of the year. Now, if you like criminal procedurals, I've already done a video on this next book. You should watch Harley Quinn Grows Up for what I consider one of my books of the year, one of my top books of the year. We start out with very interesting art that is split between, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Miko Swain and Mike Mayhew. It's in the present tense parts, for the most part. I mean, the present tense parts are in black and white, and she goes by Harley Quinn. This is not the Harley Quinn you've seen before. She is she's a private investigator. The Gotham PD has hired to help them solve crimes by a character named the Joker. Very well written, as always, and the interesting twist is that the issues that are in the past are drawn. I don't want to show you that. Are drawn by Mike Mayhew in color. And they add a really interesting dynamic to it. Harley's a med student here where she discovers what drives her interest in solving crimes. Her roommate is found murdered. And 5 years later, she's still wanting to solve this crime. She has an excellent adversary in a man who calls himself the Joker, or who has been called the Joker. And I think these, as far as I'm concerned, Cami Garcia has written one of the best crime procedurals I've read. It goes into very fine detail about the solving of murders, what goes into everything. Well, I don't want to get too graphic, but you know, you've got forensics, you've got other details left at the crime scene that Harley picks up on. She's played completely straight, and this is not a funny book at all. She is played completely straight, and she is determined to solve these crimes. She rides around on a motorcycle. She's a total badass fighter. She's a brilliant thinker. I love this book. You can't go wrong with this as a crime book. And we have, well, it's kind of a crime book, but let's go with horror. Maybe you like a little horror, thinking man's horror. I've made a video on this too, Deceased by Tom Taylor. A virus is let loose on the earth, but it's not what you think. It's like a techno-virus where anybody that watches anything on the internet gets infected. It deals with dark side. It deals with apocalypse. You have a ton of B and C list characters that are incredibly well done. Unkillables is the second book. This is Dead Planet. This is the last book. The first book is this one. But after this one comes Unkillables, and that's one of the best books I've ever read. It tells the story from the villain's viewpoint. I can't say enough about these. I've done another video on them if you want to watch more in depth. Deceased by Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor and Kelly Thompson are my two favorite writers right now. Big statement, but that's, you know, that's me. That's what I like. These are great for anybody who likes DC characters, especially who likes the second and third tier characters. They star in this and are really, really well done. So highly recommend Deceased. And our last book, before we get to the toys and vinyl, is a book that I never thought would come out, and it finally came out with a terrible cover, Batwoman. It's got Greg Rucka's run. It's got J.H. Williams' run. Greg Rucka's run, let's just focus on it for right now. Greg Rucka's run is amazing, and it has J.H. Williams art that is astonishing. J.H. Williams himself wrote the arc after this. It got cut short because of the policies at DC that didn't allow marriage. Maybe that's what it was. I think that's what it was. But it's still a great story to read, and there's other Batwoman stuff in here too. But now that I've got it in my hands, I read it years ago, and I want to read it again. I had my own custom omnibus done of all this stuff, but it's got the ads in it. So now it's bigger, it's even more beautiful, it's got no ads. I never thought they'd put this book out, but they did. Glorious, glorious Batwoman. She is really well done. She's a character that I have come to really love. Another good book is the Rebirth Detective run. That's an omnibus in Detective Comics. I think there were 4 hardcovers. And it's called Detective Comics, and it's about the Bat family, but it's really the best Batwoman story in the Rebirth universe. I can't think of what the detective book is called. That's okay. Just remember, if you're interested in Batwoman, Detective Rebirth. If you're interested, I'll put that in the description too. It's a great omnibus. Batwoman's so good in that book. Everybody's so good in that book. But Batwoman, the book that nobody ever thought would come out, came out. Totally worth it. So, what about toys? I have a few toys here, just in case you need stocking stuffers, something like that. First thing is this big Herkin thing, What If, the Hydra Stomper. Now, I haven't seen What If. Everybody hated it. it doesn't matter to me. I didn't see it, but I love this figure. This figure's boss. Look at it. It's huge. It's heavy. It's not expensive, and it is really cool. I dig this figure. The Hydra Stomper. He stomps Hydra guys. This is amazing. So this isn't a stocking stuffer. This is more of a present under the tree, but it's a bitchin' toy. I really love it. Now, this is a different kind of toy. I'll put the link in the description, but it could be gone by the time you see this. It's a Target exclusive. It's also What If. And this is if Peggy Carter was Captain Britain. Marvel's Captain Carter. What if Captain Carter's secret stealth mission sets her on a collision course with new enemies? I have no idea. Marvel's Captain Carter, she was Captain Britain. I never saw What If, so I don't know. This is the alternate costume to it, Target exclusive. I thought I would never get it because I don't go to stores, but Target has it online as of right now. And I just think this is a great alternate version of the main uniform. Main uniform is still cool. I still want to see What If, even though everybody doesn't dig it. I still want to see it. So I'll put this in. If it's gone by the time you get it, it probably won't be expensive on eBay. Since people didn't seem to care about the show, maybe the figures aren't expensive. I just love the colors, and her face is gorgeous. The sculpt is perfect. So this is just, it may be there by the time you get to it. It may not be. So I'm just throwing it out there as maybe you get it. Just as an idea. Here's one I know will be available. This is Batgirl from McFarlane. This is the Three Jokers wave, Batman the Three Jokers. This is the best Batgirl action figure ever done. Let me think. Let me look around my room. Yeah, this is the best. Nice box. She comes with lots of articulation in her feet, which is important for posing. She comes with a stand. She comes with a grappling gun and a batarang. And the sculpt on her face is really well done, and the sculpt on the costume is well done. Batgirl. I love Batgirl. And I'm getting every Batgirl that McFarlane puts out. I don't care. I want them all. They're cool. So this one would be good for somebody. Marvel's doing something cool with their kind of throwback action figures where they're on cards instead of boxes. They're on these really cool cards. And there's lots of figures like this. This is Spider-Man 2099, who I really need to break out of the package. And some of you may even just like to hang this on the wall. There's the hole here because these packages look so cool. Here's one of the Human Torch. Look at that dude. He looks so cool. This would look good on a wall, or open it up and play with them. Either way, I mean, it's your collection. Do whatever you want with it. And the other one, I have no idea who Psycho Man is. I haven't read enough Fantastic Four, but he looks kind of like Buzz Lightyear, but that's okay with me. I mean, this looks really good. And I just dig it. I love the colors. I love his face. I love he's got the fear machine with him. Fear, doubt, hate. So I need to read up more on Psycho Man. These are great carded figures. Marvel has a ton of these. Lots of characters. Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Tigra, all kinds. Tigra, whatever. She's boss. So there we have it for my suggestions for action figures. And lastly, I have music to read by. If you collect vinyl, these are some albums that I've recently been listening to They're still available. They're on vinyl, and they're beautiful to listen to. Let's start with Alluvium. Alluvium Virga 1 and 2. Beautiful music, restful, peaceful, interesting, ambient music that you can listen to while you're reading. This is Alluvium. I believe it's one guy that does all the instruments because he's scarily talented. Highly recommend these to read by. Another ambient album. Now, Explosions in the Sky is usually very loud, punchy post-rock. My head goes back and forth when I listen to a lot of Explosions in the Sky. I have a lot of albums by them. I love them. This is completely different. This is the soundtrack to Big Bend, an original soundtrack for public television. Very peaceful, very meditative. It's a double LP. This is a different Explosions in the Sky that I'm used to. Put it on in the background, and you don't have to be reading. Just put it on in the background, and just sink into your favorite chair and listen to this beautiful music. It's really good. And lastly, if you're a little bit harder rocker, you want a little bit of music that's a little harder with a punkier edge. This is not a new group, but not a lot of people know about them, but I know about them, and I love to put them on. A lot of lyrics, a lot of edgy, hard, punky chords. I don't know how to define the genre, but I think I explained it right. If you've ever heard of A Place to Bury Strangers, Hologram, it's kind of an EP, but it's really well done. And it is, I have a lot of favorite A Place to Bury Strangers. I mean, actually, I can't pick a favorite, but this is the latest one, and it's still in stock. This thing is for when you want to organize your books or something, and you need something to get you motivated. This will do it. Yeah. So there we go. There is my holiday guide for 2021. Hope it's not too late. If you're watching this in January, you're early for 2022. Either way, any of these things is fun and really fun to have if you like fun, nerdy stuff. So thanks for tuning in. Please hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. I always appreciate all my viewers. You're all so great. Thank you so much for watching. I can't tell you enough how much you all mean to me. Peace and love, peace and love. Thank you so much.